Hey guys, today I want to talk about, is it safe in the Philippines? Walking around at night, walking around during the day, walking around in Manila, and traveling throughout the islands. And a lot of people, I hear them talking about this.
For the first couple of weeks I was in the Philippines. So let me explain. Here's an example. I would go into a store, for example, like a shop, and ask, do you sell umbrellas here? And then I would get ignored.
Very expensive. If you look at it in this way, the stuff that has increased.
Let's begin our story with a quick definition of the word digital nomad. According to the dictionary, a digital nomad is a person who earns a living by working online in various locations of their choosing, rather than a fixed business location. Some of them are working for companies, some are freelancers like virtual assistants, and some are content creators like on this platform, YouTube. It's not clear who coined the word digital nomad, but accordingly, it was Sugio Makamoto and David Manners who popularized it in a 1997 book, describing how people can travel, work remotely, and earn money with the use of technology. The 2019 COVID pandemic makes it even more popular. Working from home becomes the norm. Most people nowadays refer to it as a dream job. According to 2ticketsanywhere.com, there are 35 million digital nomads worldwide, with a global economic value of $787 billion a year. The US accounts for 51% of digital nomads around the world. 46% are self-employed, while 35% are employed by companies. Mexico is the most popular destination for digital nomads, and Thailand came in second. A couple of days ago, traveloffpath.com wrote an article on their website, citing the 3 cities in Southeast Asia that are becoming hotspots for digital nomads. These are Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Jakarta, Indonesia, and Manila, Philippines. Among the 3, the Philippines is a trap, and I'm warning you to stay away from this country. And here are the reasons why. Number 1. The creation of House Bill number 8165, known as the Digital Nomad Act, was authored by Surigao del Norte Representative Francisco Jose Matugas II and will soon come into effect in the first or second quarter of 2024. The bill states that an alien who is employed in a country other than the Republic of the Philippines may, upon making an application to the Bureau of Immigration, be granted a digital nomad visa to work in the Philippines for a period of 12 months, renewable for another 12 months. Digital nomad visa holders will not be listed as residents of the Philippines for taxation purposes, and the income they receive from their employer abroad will not be considered income from Philippine sources. So just imagine that digital nomads can now legally work in the Philippines for a period of 12 months, renewable for another 12 months, or a total of 2 years, and it's tax-free. And the requirements are easy peasy. You must be at least 18 years old, have proof of sufficient income generated outside the Philippines, and have valid health insurance covering the period for which the visa is granted. He or she must have no criminal record in their home country or should not be considered a threat to the Philippines. Number 2. The cost of living is expensive. As posted by Upton in his YouTube video, the woman being interviewed is talking about the cost of living in the Philippines, which is expensive for the Filipino locals. But not with foreigners who are earning dollars, especially digital nomads who have a US client base.
But hold up, is it cheap for those of us visiting here with strong currencies, or is it actually cheap for those living here too?
It's not that cheap. It's very pricey, especially for someone, an average Filipino.
Most of us are earning bare minimum.
He then uses the Big Mac index to illustrate the purchasing power of dollars.
The price of a Big Mac in the Philippines is $2.75. Compare that to the United States, where it's about $5.15.
Okay, so in the Philippines, it costs about 50% for a Big Mac than the price in the US. But again, imagine the average wages are only 10% what they are in the United States. So you can quickly see how something as simple as a burger at McDonald's becomes not an easy, quick, cheap meal, but maybe something more of a special occasional treat.
According to citizenremote.com, as of August 2023, the cost of living in the Philippines is highly affordable by international standards, though it can vary depending on where you are in the country. It is estimated that you might need about $500 per month to live comfortably in the Philippines before rent. This would include expenses such as $3.50 for a lunchtime meal, $10 to $15 for a single meal in a nice restaurant, $1.50 for a beer, $100 to $150 per month on groceries, $100 per month for the bill. Electricity is expensive. $40 per month for a decent internet connection. And this is the average rental rates. In the 2023 edition of the Worldwide Broadband Speed League by cable.co.uk, the Philippines' fixed broadband internet service provider ranking dropped by 5 positions to 86th out of 220 countries and territories, despite an improvement in its average download speed to 43.36 megabits per second, an increase of 11.76 megabits per second. But not anymore. Starlink finally reaches the Philippine shore in February 2023 with an internet clock speed averaging 110.78 megabits per second. This provided faster internet connectivity, even in far-flung islands and provinces, compared to the traditional fixed internet broadband service providers. In addition to residential use, Starlink also introduces a commercial plan for business owners. The Starlink business plan has a connectivity speed of 350 megabits per second. And to make the competition even more exciting, California-based company Astranis will bring satellite-based internet connectivity to the Philippines by 2024.
Lots of disparate islands, lots of mountains. That's why we're excited to announce our partnership with Orbitz Corporation to bring a dedicated satellite to the Philippines.
At number 4, language barriers. Simon Seeks, in his YouTube shorts, demonstrates how a language barrier in the Philippines can be funny.
For the first couple of weeks I was in the Philippines. So let me explain. Here's an example. I would go into a store, for example, like a shop, and ask, do you sell umbrellas here? And then I would get ignored. And then later on I would find the umbrella in the shop, or I'd be in a restaurant and ask an employee where the CR is, and I would also get ignored. And I thought it was because maybe there's a language barrier or my accent or whatever, they couldn't understand me. But then I figured out, right, after a couple of weeks, that the Filipinos have a hidden face language that I didn't know about. So when I was asking where the CR is, they were using their lips to point, and I just thought they were completely ignoring me because I didn't get an actual word back. They just pointed with their face.
According to humanresourcesonline.com, the Philippines ranked second highest in English proficiency in East and Southeast Asia, behind Singapore. The country is also known as the BPO capital of the world. In 2022, the Philippines BPO sector have generated a revenue of $29.1 billion, according to OutsourceAccelerator.com. Number 5. Worst traffic congestion. Metro Manila's population is estimated to be 14.7 million in 2023. The Japan International Cooperation Agency published a study in 2018 saying that the Philippines is losing 3.5 billion pesos in lost opportunities daily due to traffic congestion. And Filipinos, being resourceful, have found ways to beat the traffic. Although the jeepney is the iconic symbol on Philippine roads, tricycles and bike trikes also found their niches on smaller, narrow roads. You can also find Filipino ingenuity along the railroad tracks where the train trolleys operate. But if you're living in Metro Manila, the best way to beat the traffic is through motor taxis like Angkas and Joyride. The fare is cheap, and this mode of transport can bring you to your destination faster. But that's not all. Recognizing the traffic problem, the last administration under former President Rodrigo Duterte marked another milestone in Philippine history. Dubbed the Golden Age of Infrastructure, the Philippines embarks on ambitious projects that cost billions of dollars by building roads, airports, skyways, railroads, and seaports. Some of the projects have already been completed, while others are ongoing. Number 6. Security concern. Steven, a Philippine expat, describes in his YouTube channel, the Philippine Info Channel, what it feels like to be a foreigner in the Philippines with regards to safety and security.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about, is it safe in the Philippines? Walking around at night, walking around during the day, walking around in Manila, and traveling throughout the islands. And a lot of people, I hear them talking about this, and I gotta tell you this, I do not ever feel unsafe in the Philippines. I feel totally safe everywhere I go, for the most part. Now, as far as traveling around in the Philippines, going to some of the islands, some of the other islands, like people say this sections of Mindanao you got to watch out for. Yes, there are places, obviously, where you want to stay away from. You probably want to go on the embassy website see what places on there, whatever travel warnings are out for some of these places. You can usually look those places up online and find those places pretty easily and stay away from those places. There's a few islands you can stay away from. Those warnings are pretty easy to find.
Number 7. Philippines is not beautiful. The Philippines is a beautiful country with a lot to offer. Its natural wonders, colorful and warmly engaging people, and unique culture make it a must-visit destination. Filipinos are known for their hospitality and friendliness. They welcome foreigners warmly and are always willing to help. Their smiles are charming, and they love singing. The Philippines, with more than 7,000 islands, is home to some of the most beautiful islands in the world, including Boracay, Palawan, and Siargao. It is also home to world-renowned natural wonders like the underground river in Palawan and the Ifugao rice terraces. The beaches, marine life, and mountains are breathtaking. Number 8. Digital nomad hubs don't exist. There is no exact date as to how digital nomads started in the Philippines. But one thing is for sure, their popularity has already gained traction in the country. If you're a digital nomad or are aspiring to be one, digital nomad hubs are present in almost all big cities in the Philippines, but here are the best ones. Manila, Accelerate, Clock In, Bullish, and Workfolk. Cebu, The Company, A Space Crossroads, and Nomads Hub. Davao, Dream Work Cafe, Rainmakers, and Dev Hub Davao. Siargao, Sunflower House Siargao, and Lexia's Hostel. Maybe you are still wondering why I'm giving you this warning. The Philippines is not perfect. It has its own flaws. But the country has improved a lot in the past 20 years. According to internationalcitizens.com, in 2011 alone, there were already 3.5 million expatriates and visitors who had entered the Philippines, and it keeps increasing every year. 40% of American firms in the Philippines received a request from their employees to be relocated to the Philippines. Employees enjoyed the new placement and even got a 100% satisfaction rating after the relocation. Affordable cost of living, friendly and hospitable locals, the ability to communicate with almost everybody because English is the second language of the Filipinos, decent and affordable healthcare for foreigners, a vibrant and diverse culture, positive economic growth, and developing infrastructure, more than 7,000 islands to explore, more adventures, and more fun. The Philippines has so much to offer. It's been trapping tourists to stay and stay for good ever since. And the government is right now passing the Digital Nomad Act to lure in digital nomads. Even foreign YouTube vloggers have fallen in love with the country's alluring beauty, and some of them have never left. The Philippines is a trap.
I would just like to say, I trust that you will live up to this great gift given to you by the Filipino people. You have already done so much to promote our country and our culture to Filipinos and foreign nationals alike. And we look forward to your future contributions as you champion the country that you call now your home.